Excellent. Hello, everybody. We are live on Facebook. Welcome to another episode of Tea and Teachings. And oh, hang on. I've got like a dual. Oh, there we go. Perfect. I was hearing my audio twice. Perfect. So, welcome to Tea and Teachings, where essentially I go through a little bit of a small education lesson. And these education lessons, besides being posted here, are also going to be posted on the podcast as well, too. So, some people don't have Facebook, so I'm like, why not share this training and this lesson with everybody else? So, this week I want to talk about the reason why you can't see results in your life. So there's a lot of times and instances where people come to me and they're like, for some reason, Andrew, I'm in this funk. I'm trying to eat right. I'm trying to exercise regularly. I'm not seeming to be able to keep myself on track. It's hard for me to be able to keep a commitment to myself. And I'm just falling off all the time. And I just feel really, really frustrated. And it's totally normal. And there's kind of three commonalities that I see with people who just can't seem to make it work. And before we go into what the three of them are, I want to use this little comparison. I'm sure we all have a friend or a family member who, if you can look at them, everything seems to work for them all the time. So this is the person who always tries something and is able to get it done, or who always experiences something new, but somehow is able to master it. They're always picking up new things, and life is always, quote unquote, like working for them. These type of people, they're not special. They don't have anything different than you do. They just, I truly believe, follow these three principles that I'm going to talk about. And that's what helps them stay on track and help them be essentially consistent with their goals and hit all the things, not just in their health, but also in their life as well, too. So the first thing that I want to talk about is people believe that hard challenges require really difficult solutions. So whether you've been struggling to lose weight for a long time, or you've been struggling with menopausal issues, or maybe it's been hard for you to get that company job change and raise into a higher position, regardless of what the challenge is, the longer you've experienced hardship with a certain struggle, the more complex people think that the solution needs to be. So they're like, man, I've been struggling with this for 4 years, and just eating consistently every day is not going to be enough. I need this complex meal plan that's having me buy all of these crazy special foods, because what they want is for the solution to be really hard to justify the hardness and struggle that they feel. And a lot of people experience that. I've even experienced that in my own life, where I'm like, it can't be this easy. There's no way. But the reality is when it comes to challenges, simple is what is effective, and consistency is what is effective. A lot of the things that I train my clients on, they're not special tools. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you guys all know a lot of them, like making sure that you're getting 8 hours of sleep a night, making sure that you're having your 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per meal, cutting out inflammatory foods, removing caffeine so that way your thyroid and your adrenals function. These are like very basic things. But people are like, oh, if I do those things, I'm not going to see any changes. I've done that in the past. And I'm like, sure, maybe you've tried it for a couple of days. But can you really say that you've done those things consecutively, 30 to 60 days in a row, consistently? Because if you had, you're going to see huge changes to your body weight, huge changes to your body's composition, huge changes to your energy. We overlook the simple things because what we don't want to feel inside is stupid that the simple things worked. When we try something and it's very complex, when we try something and there's a lot of moving parts, if it doesn't work, we say, well, it was just so difficult, I couldn't get a handle on it. I couldn't make the changes needed, or it was really tough and this thing was so complex, it just all fell apart. It's that all or nothing mentality of what this goes back to. So a lot of the times, and I won't say that it becomes easy, it doesn't become easy to transition through your health and goals, and it doesn't become easy for you to transition through life. What it becomes is simple, because every time you experience a challenge, You need to rise to the level of that challenge each time. The greater the challenge, the greater you have to rise. But the tools don't change. The simplicity doesn't change. Whether you want to get a job that makes $1 million or $100,000, you're still going to have to sleep 8 hours a night. You're still going to have good boundaries, and you're still going to have to do the things required, like show up on time to work and make sure that you get your work done. Whether that's a $100,000 job or $1 million job, $1 million job, that doesn't matter. Those things don't change. And people think that they have to change the tools in order to see results for themselves, when in reality, you have to change your mindset to level up so those tools can come with you. That's number one. Number two is you don't have a community. You don't have anyone to support you with this. And I'm not saying this so that way people can work with me. I'm saying this because changing a community or having a community is basically changing your environment and changing your atmosphere. So if you think about it, how many times have you gone on vacation and you've gone somewhere, and the moment you go to a different place, you feel a totally different way, you feel completely stress-free, you're thinking totally new thoughts, and now you have a new outlook. You didn't change. It's not like you became a different person. But what happened is when you made that change and that shift, when you took yourself out of your old environment and put yourself into a new one, you started thinking new thoughts, you started experiencing new things, and now you've changed your outlook. A lot of people really underrate this. And whether it's through a group community, like through our Vantage program, we have our group coaching calls where people hop on and they're talking to each other and they're getting support. And, you know, we have that constant supportive and positive environment that's needed for people to flourish. But even if you're like, okay, well, I don't know if I'm ready for that, or I'm not sure if that's going to be something for me, that's fine. Change your environment. Go for a hike or a run. Be somewhere different. Listen to different kinds of music, more uplifting things, more musical pieces, more orchestra tones. Do something different to change your environment. Spend more time with your kids if you need to. By doing that, you're going to think different things and experience life a different way. There's something, a saying that people use, that's misery loves company. And that's because if you're in a negative environment and all the people around you are negative and everyone's always complaining and nobody's doing anything about it, there's no new circumstances, there's no new changes, and you have the same pain and the same complaints every single day. And that's why you have a whole bunch of negativity and frustration around you, because you're truly not doing anything different. So you need to get yourself out of that environment that you're currently in and put yourself in an environment where you can thrive. Stop surviving and start thriving with your life. That's why I love our group coaching program. That's why, to me personally, I believe it's our most effective program, because when people are in a group community, not only are they getting the individual support that they need, but they are learning from others. And through positive uplifting, when you raise someone else above you, people will then give you their hand and they will then carry you up as well too. So everyone learns and grows and improves together, which is a big piece of that. So the environment change. The third one is many people are too connected to the outcome. They're like, I'm willing to make hard changes in my life, providing I see results and success all the time. And it doesn't work that way. You're going to have ups and downs, and actually downs are needed so you can acknowledge the high level of ups and the high level of success that you have. So a mentor and a great friend of mine, he talks about essentially like, if you don't know sadness, how can you acknowledge what happiness is? And it's the same thing when it comes to being connected to an outcome. If you're only doing things and only making changes in your life with the conditions that you're going to see positive, it's not going to work for you. The people who are the most successful through their health and through their lives stay consistent through the process, regardless of whether or not they've seen results yet. So they're always consistent with their daily routine. They're always consistent with their habits. They're always consistent with their mindset and the way that they talk to themselves. And because of that, because they're always protruding positivity, because they're always protruding, I'm in progress, I'm working on it, I'm growing, then what you put out to the world will come to you. It will change. You're going to start to see the changes. And yes, the greater the challenge, the greater the level of consistency you have to be, the greater the level of habits and routines you have to have, the greater level of mindset you have to have. It's why we always have to grow and level up. Because if you stay where you are, then you're not going to change. You're not going to do anything different, and therefore you're not going to see the results. So hard challenges, they don't require hard solutions. They require simple solutions. Simple solutions done consistently. And don't be afraid of using relatively simple tools. Simple things like eating right, like sleeping more, like cutting out caffeine and removing inflammatory foods from your diet. Number one. Number two, change your environment. Find a community. Our community and Fit for All is super supportive. If not, you have to change your environment your own way, which is really important. And then that third one, don't stay connected to the outcome. If you're only looking at the destination, you don't get to enjoy the journey. And that's really, really important, because that's where the positivity and the excitement comes from. So that is all for today's episode of Teen Teachings. Thank you guys and gals for hopping on. And remember, we are on every single Friday at 10 a.m. EST. So that is Eastern Standard Time. And the Teen Teachings episodes are now going to be popped onto our podcast as well, too, which I'm really excited about. So that way everybody can learn from these little tips and tools. Thanks for listening in, and we'll see you next week. Ciao.